little fox.
Journey to the West, Chapter 5, The Demon of Chaos.
What happened here?
Wukong asked the gibbon. A few more monkeys and apes gathered around Sun Wukong and the gibbon. They looked scared.
A demon attacked us,
said the gibbon.
We tried to fight him, but he was too powerful. He stole most of our things and kidnapped many of us.
Wukong was furious.
Who is he? Where does he live?
He is called the Demon of Chaos,
said the gibbon.
He came from the north.
Wait here,
Wukong ordered.
I will handle the demon.
The demon is very powerful,
the gibbon warned.
I learned many things from a sage.
Wukong replied.
I am now as powerful as a god. I'm not afraid of any demon. I'll be back soon.
He leaped into the air and flew north. His subjects stared in amazement.
Our king can fly,
said the gibbon. Wukong soon spotted a gloomy mountain. Dark clouds hung over it.
That looks like a demon's home,
he thought. Wukong landed on the mountain and found a cave. 2 guards stood at the entrance, practicing sword fighting.
I'm king of the Fruit and Flower Mountain,
yelled Wukong.
The demon of chaos attacked my subjects. I want revenge.
The guard shrieked and ran into the cave. The demon of chaos was sitting at a table, eating a meal.
Disaster!
One guard cried.
What sort of disaster?
Asked the demon.
There's a monkey outside,
said the other guard.
He said he's king of the Fruit and Flower Mountain. You attacked his subjects. Now he wants revenge.
The monkeys and apes are spoken of a king,
said the demon.
He left to find a sage. I guess he returned.
The demon stood up.
Does the monkey have any weapons?
No,
said one guard.
Then get me my armor and my sword,
said the demon. A moment later, the demon of chaos walked outside. He looked at Wukong and laughed.
You're just a little monkey,
he said. Wukong looked up at the huge demon.
I am small,
he said.
But I am more powerful than you can imagine.
I'm not afraid of you,
said the demon. He swung his sword. Wukong jumped out of the way and then flew at the demon. Pow! Wukong hit the demon on the nose.
Ah!
Cried the demon. Wukong pulled out a handful of his own hair and blew on it. Poof! Each strand of hair turned into a fake monkey, exactly like Wukong. All at once, the fake monkeys attacked the demon, punching and kicking him.
What's going on?
Cried the demon, trying to fight all the fake monkeys.
It's a magic spell,
said Wukong.
It's called Body Beyond the Body.
The demon of chaos was soon destroyed. Wukong chased away the guards and then went into the cave. He found all the monkeys and apes that the demon had kidnapped. When they saw him, they cheered.
Your Majesty!
Cried the monkeys and apes.
You came back!
Wukong smiled.
I will take you home.
The next morning, Wukong woke up early.
Other demons might attack us,
he thought.
We must be ready to protect ourselves.
Wukong spent the day teaching his subjects how to fight. They practiced with swords and spears. Before long, the monkeys and apes were a fierce army.
No demon will dare bother us now,
said the gibbon.
No.
said Wukong.
There's just one problem, though.
What's that?
Asked the gibbon,
I can't use any of the weapons we have.
said Wukong. Journey to the West, Chapter 6, The Dragon King.
What's wrong with our swords and spears?
Asked the gibbon,
They're fine for normal monkeys and apes.
said Wukong.
But I am very powerful. I need a much heavier weapon.
The gibbon thought for a minute.
A dragon king lives at the bottom of the Eastern Sea.
He said,
Maybe he has a weapon you can use.
That's a good idea.
said Wukong.
I'll be back soon.
He said a quick spell so he could breathe underwater. Then he dived into the stream. He swam to the ocean and went deeper and deeper. Soon he arrived at a large palace. The Dragon King and the Dragon Queen were sitting at a table, having tea. The Dragon King looked over when Wukong walked in.
Who are you?
Asked the Dragon King,
I'm king of the Fruit and Flower Mountain.
said Wukong,
My name is Sun Wukong.
It's nice to meet you.
said the Queen,
Would you like some tea?
No, thank you.
said Wukong.
I need a heavy weapon because I'm as strong as a god. I want one of yours.
Well,
Said the Dragon King.
I suppose I could find a weapon for you.
The Dragon King looked at a turtle soldier.
Find a heavy weapon for Sun Wukong.
The turtle went out of the room. He soon came back, slowly dragging a huge sword. He dropped the sword and then fell down, out of breath. Wukong picked up the sword with no trouble at all. Swish, swoosh! He waved the sword through the air, pretending to fight.
This sword is too light.
Said Wukong.
Find me a better weapon.
This monkey is rude.
The Dragon Queen whispered to her husband.
You're right, dear.
The Dragon King whispered back.
Let's find him something quickly so he'll leave.
A few minutes later, several turtles and octopuses dragged an enormous spear into the room.
There.
Said the Dragon King.
That looks like a very heavy weapon. Right, Wukong?
Wukong lifted the spear and began stabbing at the air. He shook his head.
This spear is too light.
The Dragon King snorted.
That spear is very heavy. How can you say it's too light?
To me, it's light.
Said Wukong.
Find me something else.
We don't have anything else.
Said the Dragon King.
That's the heaviest weapon we have.
Wukong stomped his foot.
I'm not leaving until I get what I want.
This is an outrage.
Said the Dragon King. The Queen whispered to him again.
What about the magical iron bar in the treasury? I'm sure that's heavy enough.
We can't give that to him.
Said the Dragon King.
It's a treasure from heaven.
Who cares?
Said the Queen.
I just want this monkey out of my palace.
The Dragon King sighed.
Wukong, we might have something heavy enough for you.
Bring it here.
Said Wukong.
We can't.
Said the Dragon King.
It's too heavy for anyone to lift. But if you can lift it, we'll let you have it.
Show me where it is.
Said Wukong. The group went to the treasury. An enormous iron pillar stood in the center of the room. Beams of golden light shone from it.
That pillar was used to measure all the oceans and rivers,
said the Dragon King. Wukong went closer and looked up at the large piece of iron. The Dragon King folded his arms.
If you can pick it up, you can have it.
Journey to the West, Chapter 7, The Land of Darkness. Sun Wukong put his hand on the iron pillar. He felt it move. He thought.
This piece of iron really is magical. I bet it will do whatever I want it to do. Smaller!
Commanded Wukong. The pillar shrank. Soon it was just a little taller than Wukong. He picked it up and swung it around.
This is a perfect weapon for me,
He said,
I can't believe he can lift it!
said the Dragon Queen. Wukong made the bar even smaller. Soon it was no bigger than a pin. He placed it inside his ear.
I've got what I want.
Said Wukong.
Goodbye.
He turned around and left.
He was very rude,
Said the Dragon Queen. The Dragon King clenched his fists.
I'm going to report him to the Jade Emperor.
Back home, the others were amazed by Wukong's new weapon,
Nobody will ever attack us again.
declared Wukong. The monkeys and apes cheered. They held a big feast that lasted until late at night. Wukong went to bed happy. But as he fell asleep, two spirits grabbed him.
What are you doing?
Asked Wukong.
Let go of me.
He kicked and struggled as the spirits dragged him out of his cave. They walked toward a dark and creepy city. A sign on the entrance gate said, Land of Darkness.
The Land of Darkness?
Cried Wukong.
That's where people go when they die. I'm supposed to live forever.
He yanked his arms free.
Grow!
He cried. His iron bar quickly grew. Whack! He knocked out the first spirit. Crack! He knocked out the second spirit. Wukong stomped into the Land of Darkness. He headed toward the Palace of Darkness. As he went, he swung his iron bar back and forth. Demons and ghosts fled. A tall spirit stepped out of the palace.
What's going on out here?
The spirit asked.
Who are you?
Asked Wukong.
I am the judge of the dead.
Said the spirit.
Why are you causing all this trouble?
I want to know why I was brought here.
Said Wukong.
Tell me now.
The judge held up his hands.
If you were brought here, it means your time on Earth is over.
Nonsense!
Yelled Wukong.
I'm going to live forever!
The judge looked nervous.
Let's check the directory.
He said.
The directory contains the name and age of every creature on Earth. It says when each creature will die.
Inside the palace, the judge opened a large book.
What is your name?
He asked. Wukong told him. The judge flipped through the pages.
Here it is.
Said the judge.
It says, Sun Wukong, born from a stone 300 years ago, died today.
Wukong shook his head.
No, I'm going to live forever.
The directory isn't wrong.
said the judge.
You'll have to stay here now.
Wukong raised his iron bar and glared at the judge.
Give me that book!
The judge hesitated.
I can't give it to...
Now!
Said Wukong. Shaking, the judge handed the book to Wukong. Wukong plucked 2 of his hairs and blew on them. They turned into a brush and a jar of ink. He drew a line through his name,
You can't do that!
said the judge.
Yes, I can.
Said Wukong. Next, Wukong found the names of all the other monkeys and apes. He crossed out their names too.
Now I really will live forever.
Said Wukong.
And so will all of my subjects.
Journey to the West. Chapter 8. A Job in Heaven. The Jade Emperor was sitting on his throne in the Cloud Palace. A messenger ran into the court.
Your Majesty,
He said,
the Dragon King of the Eastern Sea is here to see you.
Let him in.
said the Emperor. The Dragon King entered and bowed.
Your Majesty, I want to make a complaint. Sun Wukong came to my palace and demanded I give him a weapon. He was very rude.
Another messenger came in.
The Judge of the Dead would like to speak with you, Your Majesty.
The judge came in and bowed.
A monkey named Sun Wukong crossed out his name in the directory. I beg you to punish him.
The Jade Emperor rubbed his chin.
Who is this Sun Wukong, and how did he become so powerful?
The Emperor's captain stepped forward.
Sun Wukong is the monkey who was born from a rock 300 years ago. I don't know how he became so powerful. I remember him,
Said the Jade Emperor.
I don't care how powerful he is. He is causing too much trouble on Earth. Gather some troops and go down to the Fruit and Flower Mountain. I want Sun Wukong arrested.
The spirit of the planet Venus stepped forward.
Your Majesty,
Said Venus.
perhaps we could give Wukong a job here in heaven.
The Jade Emperor raised his eyebrows.
Why would we do that?
If he's here, we can keep an eye on him.
Said Venus.
It will be easy to keep him out of trouble.
Very well.
Said the Emperor.
Invite Wukong to come to live in heaven. He will be in charge of the Royal Peach Garden.
Wukong was telling his subjects about his adventure in the land of darkness.
After I crossed out my name,
He said,
I crossed out all of your names too. We will all live forever.
The monkeys and apes cheered. Wukong noticed a spirit standing nearby. He pulled out his iron bar,
Who are you?
I am Venus.
said the spirit.
I have an invitation from the Jade Emperor. He would like you to come to live in heaven.
Wukong smiled.
At last, he has invited me.
When Wukong entered the royal court in the Cloud Palace, he didn't bow,
You're supposed to bow before the Emperor.
whispered Venus. Wukong laughed.
I'm just as powerful as he is. Maybe he should bow before me.
Everyone but the Jade Emperor gasped. Wukong looked at the Emperor.
I'm glad you invited me. I guess you finally realized I should be living up here with all of you.
Show some respect.
Said Venus. The Jade Emperor looked at Venus and smiled.
Wukong is new here. He can be excused for not acting the right way.
He looked at Wukong.
I'm putting you in charge of the Royal Peach Garden. You will have a home here in heaven. I hope you won't cause any more trouble.
That sounds perfect,
Said Wukong. The next morning, a gardener showed Wukong the peach garden. Bright, glowing peaches hung from every branch.
The peaches in this garden are not like peaches on Earth.
Said the gardener.
These peaches take thousands of years to become ripe. Anybody who takes a bite of one will live forever.
Each morning, Wukong inspected the trees in the garden. He took his job very seriously.
These peaches look delicious.
Wukong thought one day. He looked around. None of the gardeners were in sight.
Maybe I'll eat one.
Little Fox.